Welcome everybody. Today we are going to be having a conversation titled Financial Independence, Retire Early. Financial independence, retire early. You have some group of people that call themselves that. Their plan is to retire early. Some people want to retire at age 40, early 40, so that they can now have time to do what they love to do, to follow their purpose. So you have some people like that. So we just want to talk about, that today. And I was asking ChatGPT. Some of us might have heard about ChatGPT. Is now revolutionary. Elon Musk, not Elon Musk. Bill Gates was written an article. He wrote an article and said the age of artificial intelligence has begun. And I've been using ChatGPT, and it has been very, very helpful. So I was asking ChatGPT, how much can one contribute or invest in S&P 500 index every month to reach $1 million in 30 years? And I got a response. The response says that assuming you have 70% return, average return, and excluding fees and taxes, that you need about $1,700, to contribute every month. And it also talks about diversification, talks about re-strategizing, that you must always look at your portfolio. And it's also advised for one to consider a financial investor, also financial advisor. So what I'm just trying to say is that whether we want to retire early or want to have financial independence, it's important for us to talk about planning. One has to really plan. One has to plan to do that. So I'm happy today to have someone in the house that I know retired early. And I'm sure he's going to be sharing from his experience with us. We're both working at Futa many years ago. So I'm happy to have Mr. John Tolani in the house. And I'm going to be asking him some questions. And after I finish asking him some questions, all of us can also ask him questions to learn from him. So Mr. John Tolani, can you just tell us about yourself?
Good evening, house. Thank you, Brother Tosi. I'm excited to be with us this evening. You've heard my name. I'm John Tolani. I read geology, geophysics, and I was a lecturer in the Federal University of Technology, Akure. I joined the university because I was interested in becoming a lecturer. But at a point, I discovered that the university system wasn't suitable for me. So that caused me to be thinking of something else. And the trigger I had was the fact that because I attempted to do my PhD abroad, but when I saw what I saw in the University of Hong Kong, gave me the impression that we didn't have a university system in Nigeria that I can stay and live and stay and remain till I retired. So this is the main reason I decided to begin seeking alternatives to see what else I could do. This was what prompted me to start thinking of giving myself financial literacy first. For me, I cherish education, and Ratosi, you are aware of it, that I had a very rich library in various subjects, but especially management of self, management of human beings, and financial literacy. These were triggers for me, and I was able to work on myself and draw a plan for myself. When I found out that I may not have a bright future in the university system, this caused me to find a way to leave the university as early as possible. Fortunately, I resigned from the university. I didn't even retire. I resigned from the university in October 2004, and I was 46 years old then. Then I was looking at professors who were 60 plus, and I didn't envy them. I didn't want to look like they were then when I will be 60 plus. So this is the main reason I left the university system and decided to think of what to do. But I prepared myself first by getting mental preparation, spiritual preparation also, just to see God's face and guidance on what I wanted to do. So this is my preparation. And good enough, I branched out. I plunked out in 2004. And it's been a mixed bag of successes and challenges, failures which taught me lessons, which are not truly failures, but I learned lessons that I use to move forward. I think I can stop here for now.
Thank you so much for your response. I remember you started an investment club in them. What year was that? We came to your place. You started this investment club. All of us came, and we had this plan. Was it 2004 that you started that we started that investment club?
2003, 2004.
2003, 2004. You know, and you had been talking about investment club then. You know that shows the knowledge you had at that particular time about the importance of investment club, and you were telling us about investing in stocks in those days. And also I can also remember then that you were also invested in property. So what made you invest in property then?
Oh, the primary reason I went to property is it's called real estate.
Yeah.
Real estate. So everything, as far as we're concerned, we're on the surface of the earth.
Yeah.
Everything we do it on the surface of the earth, that is on the land.
Yeah.
So my mindset then was that if I could acquire lands and hold them on long-term basis, even within the rural Akure setting where I was, not Abuja, not Lagos, but even in Akure, that whether we like it or not, land will definitely appreciate. So in essence, what I did was to go into land banking, buy this land, hold for on long term, and then sell later for multiple profits.
Very interesting. Very. You had foresight, and I think the importance of foresight cannot be overemphasized. If one wants to retire early, one must have foresight. One must have, vision. That's one thing I also believe that you also had. And you were a man of yourself at 46. And you believed in yourself. And I think it's very, very important. I was just talking to myself about the importance of boldness, not being afraid, and believing in oneself, especially if you're a child of God. Why are you afraid? God said he will be with you. Just have a plan like you did. I have this question. So what advice do you have for young people or people that are just starting their career? Maybe they're in their early 20s, and maybe they want to retire in 20 years' time, 30 years' time. I mean, what advice, looking at yourself, what advice would you tell your 20-year-old person, that you tell those people?
The first advice I would say is get a skill that is sellable. So when you have a skill that is sellable, you can start making money from that your skill, and then you invest it in whatever you think will have long-term benefits, especially long-term appreciation. So, and there are so many areas one can go into now. IT is still there. We'll continue to need specialists in IT, We continue to need specialists in almost every area of human endeavor. So if people want to, because nobody in most cases have the finance to start their business on their own, except you are children of rich people. If you are not children of rich people, if your parent cannot endow you a big fund, then the first thing is to work and give yourself a rigorous training of savings. Then when you start with the little you have, you can start growing with it. But principally, you must get skill, then get education, not just academic education. People should get education about life, about self-management, about relationship management, because in fact, your wealth these days is commensurate with your network. If you are not connected to other people, or you don't know how to treat people well, it will be difficult for you to become rich.
I mean, fantastic. It's very, very important for you to get yourself a job. If you can find a job, is good. Because I always talk to people that one of the easiest way to really, overcome poverty is to find yourself a job. And if you can find yourself a job, you can now start saving. Like you said, you must have a plan, and networking is very, very important. It's also very important for you to study. And I really agree with all what you've really talked about. And discipline. You've got to be disciplined when it comes to saving. You must have a plan. And it's also very important for us to know about a lot of assets one can invest in. Like I was mentioning the case of S&P 500. Mr. Tolani talked about real estate. There are so many investment instruments these days that one can invest in, but it comes through, doing your research, studying, and most importantly, having faith in God is very, very important. The last question I want to ask you is this. I'm sure you have been financially independent since you left paid job more than maybe 16 years ago. So what's
19 years
ago. 19 years ago. So what's your secret?
The staying power has been complete dependence on God. Because even when you invest in any instrument or whatever property, it's still God that protects for you. So the first of all is that trust and confidence in God. Then two, ability to delay gratification. So when some of my friends are contemporaries or juniors, when they were driving flashy cars, I wasn't excited by that, because I knew whatever flashy car I bought, it's not an asset, because for me to lose value from the day I buy it. So, but when I invest in financial instruments or when I invest in stocks, if they appreciate in many money. So ability to delay gratification is one other thing. It's very, very important. And have a plan, stick to your plan. I had a plan and I stuck to that plan rigorously. Even in the face of stiff oppositions, I maintain my stand.
I do agree with you. Yeah, it's very, very important about talking about delayed gratification. So people talk about, do you play today and have pain tomorrow? Or do you have pain today and play tomorrow? Delaying gratification is all about having pain today.
Yeah.
Playing tomorrow. So it's very, very important. Another thing is not looking at the Joneses, because you don't have the same, maybe you don't have the same income, and that's a challenge for some people. They want to be like others, and it's very, very important for you to be focused. Focus is very, very important. And, I was talking to students recently about values, living values. We're talking about one of the values I was talking to them is about focus, because where I work, we have some values, about 10 values. And one of the values, apart from focus, is excellence. So, and if you want to if you want to excel in life, if you want to be successful, there are certain things you do, because excellence is about habits. You know,
Sure.
Aristotle says something. He said, moral excellence comes as a result of habits, and not only moral excellence, financial excellence comes as a result of habits, having certain habits. I mean, being proactive. I always talk to people about 7 habits of highly effective people. Being proactive, being with an end in mind, you know, putting first thing first, thinking win-win, you know, learning first to understand and be understood. In communication, Stephen Covey. And number 6, talking about synergy, you know, you were talking about networking. It's very, very important. Synergy, having, you know, collaborating with other people. And we also talked about sharpening the saw, studying. All those things are very, very important. And most importantly, somebody said, health is wealth. That's how we must keep praying to God for having good health. Imagine people that are sick, you know, the amount of money they spend to go to the hospital, you know, maybe they've been able to save a lot of money, but because of sickness, you know, it can take everything. So that's another thing, praying to God for, you know, having good health. And that's why it's also very important for us to think about exercise, the lifestyle that we have. We want to make sure we have good lifestyle. We have time to rest. We have time we eat good food. You know, we try as much as possible not to eat junk. All those things are very, very important. And I also believe in fasting. I was just thinking this morning about, I always talk about Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. Say, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. You meditate in it, and you will have
day and night.
So when we read the Bible always, and we pray always, and we are courageous. We're not afraid, you know, and we also fast. Fasting is very, very important. And we do our best. We pray for wisdom, like some of the things we talked about, delayed gratification, all those things. Definitely we are going to succeed in life. Praise God.
Yes.
I think we've covered all the questions I want to ask you. I don't know whether anybody in the house wants to ask a question from Mr. John Tolani. Let me first go. Jude, what question? Can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
I'm hearing you too.
All right, thank you, sir. First of all, I want to thank you for the powerful presentation. I think you are speaking both in theory and the life experience. So it's not like you're just talking theories. You are telling us what you have done, the principle that worked for you, how you applied it in your life, and how it works for you. So I think that makes it a complete teaching. So I really appreciate you for the presentation and also for responding to the questions clearly. So
thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Jude and I'm based in Nigeria. So my question is this. I'm a young guy. So as a young guy that stays in Nigeria, maybe from Africa, knowing how difficult the environment of Nigeria is, even with your skills, with other things, we still know that nepotism and corruption still plays a very key role in our systems. So sometimes it makes it look like the life of the young people, in this part of the world is not, can I say, it look blurry. It's not quite bright. So what encouragement or advice do you have for youth that comes from this part of the world? Looking at the way the government is, the way the system is, what kind of, because some people, when you look at the situation, might even give up. You see, even when you have all the skills and everything, how am I going to succeed in this environment? So what advice do you have for young people, is succeeding in their careers and how they can succeed in an environment like Nigeria? So that is my question.
Thank you, Mr. Jude Anumudu. A good question you asked. First of all, like I said earlier, the youth must ensure they have a sellable skill. So if you have a sellable skill, no matter your area of socialization, but be sure that you are one of the best. So if you apply for an employment, be sure that you are competitive enough. Make sure you have whatever is connected with that, your field of specialization, that you are master at it. You will still get a job as far as Nigeria is concerned, in spite of nepotism, in spite of tribalism, in terms of corruption in Nigeria. People are still looking for top class people. So if a youth makes himself a top class people, yeah, they will definitely find a way. But apart from that, think about going into business for yourself. And present day Nigeria, one of the best ways to go is see that real estate. You can start very small. You can buy just one plot of land in a place. Try to find out what possibility does it have of appreciating in a year or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10. So if you can do that, then you are good to a good start. And recently, my experience in Nigeria, I've also been looking for more opportunities. I found out that I've tried the agribusiness, but I got my fingers burnt on maize and cassava because there's too much meddlesomeness in the prices of these commodities. But recently, I found out that coconut is a cash crop. Cocoa is a cash crop. Fruits, citruses, you can just, if you have just 1 acre of this, you can plant them there and you make some good money. For instance, coconut now, if you buy dwarf or hybrid coconut, if you plant in just 1 acre, you can be sure that it will start fruiting in 3 to 4 years, and you are sure the next 60 years you'll be making money from it. So these are areas that, but apart from that, there are still areas of education. Investment in education is still important. If people could band together and establish high quality schools, I tell you, people will still patronize you. You won't lack students, you won't lack pupils. Because people are looking for top-notch education for their children now. So maybe I should stop. I should stop here.
Thank you so much, sir, for that response. And I also want to add that young people must just believe in themselves, like what Mr. John Tolani said, having a good skill. And it doesn't have to be you working for someone, finding a job in a company. If you have a good skill, for example, you can design websites. You can start your own company and people can be patronizing you, because I know people that have been designing websites for me. They're all based in Nigeria, understand? And you can also, okay, you talk, there was a time you worked for me for about a year, although we didn't continue for some time after about 1 year, but you were earning some money. So you can, assuming you are very good, and you can help people with their social media. There are so many jobs that people can do these days. And so young people should begin to think about IT skills that they can have. And there are remote jobs people can also get these days. So there are a lot, but you must believe in yourself and you must not be afraid to start small. I remember in those days after finishing university, I worked in a secondary school. Then I went into publishing. I started small, and there are so many things people can do, and that is the advantage people that don't have degree have. Some of them will just start small because they don't have degrees. But when you have a degree, the first thing you want to quickly buy a smartphone, a very big smartphone after coming from NYC. But someone that didn't have a degree does not mind just using a simple phone, and the little money has gathered, it will invest in a small company, business, and it will be growing little by little. So even in Nigeria, with the help of God, you can prosper. Okay, Mr. Tayo, you have a question.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
Can
welcome,
you hear
sir.
me? Yeah,
Yes,
thank you very much. Although I came late, I didn't meet part of it, but the little that I met, I want to just expand more on relationship. Number one, I think people need to be very honest with themselves and be very realistic on what they can do. You can't be dreaming, doing touch and play here and there and things like that. No. I also moved back to Professor Tosin knows my story very well. I came back to Nigeria. It's not that they chased me from South Africa. I came back myself. Uh-huh. They didn't chase me. I came back myself for a purpose in Nigeria. But within the time that I've been in Nigeria for about 2-3 years, I think I have changed job 3 times. Not that because they chased me away from the job, because what happened is that the job that I am picking doesn't resonate with my, where I am going, the objective and things like that. So, different things motivate people for picking up job. But the one that I am doing right now, I want to talk on relationship. On Tuesday, presently right now, I'm working with Lagos Business School. On Tuesday this week, the Canadian ambassador to Nigeria came to Lagos Business School. And I prepared myself that I want to meet this man, not for visa. I'm not for visa purpose, no, because I have a very good business that I want to discuss with him. So fortunately, during his presentation, he gave an allowance for us to ask questions. And I bombarded him with a lot of questions, especially on investment. From there, he piqued interest in me. After the whole program, he called me aside. He gave me his business card, and he told me that and he scheduled a meeting with me on one-on-one in his office in VI for next month, April, which I will go and meet him. Now, that is networking. There are so many people that just talk about networking, but they are not prepared to pay the cost of what is going to take them to network. Networking is not free, it is cost. There are times that I will even take myself, I will go to number one. A co-hotel is one place that virtually every day, if you get there, there is one conference or one program that is going on there. You can just fit yourself into that space and look at what they are saying. And from there, you will meet the higher and mighty that you can network and you'll be able to, But you've got to prepare yourself. Some people are talking about networking. They just think that networking is just, I just need to. No. Then another thing that I discovered is that when you meet the greats, don't ask them for help. Everybody has one thing or the other that is at the point of, you must listen to them. And from what they are saying, you must be able to plug yourself in and look at, okay, what can I present to this person that will be
What do you offer to
interested?
them?
What do you want me to offer to them? Since I've been to Nigeria, I've discovered that so many people don't even know how to present themselves. The same LBS that I am, as I was meeting with the Canadian ambassador, I have people that have been working with them for 15, 20 years. They just came to me, they said, look, you just came, what? You are very intelligent. The way you are able to meet this man, you are able to. I said, because number one, I intentionally, I use the word intentional. I intentionally prepared myself because I know that to meet such people is not every time. So when you know that you are going to meet them, you must prepare. If it means that you should find staff, pray, because that is an opportunity that if he slipped away from you, you might not be able, maybe the next 5-10 years, you might not, that opportunity might not come. How prepared are you for the things that you said you want? There are a lot of people that say theoretical things, but to be able to step out and to be intentional, I'm using the word intentional again, that one is not there. Then you talk about government and things like that. You see, somebody always said that think out of the box. I always challenge that. I said, you don't even need to think out of the box. Throw the box away so that you don't have anything to think about. Throw the box away so that you don't even need to think about the box. Instead of saying that you want to think outside the box. What happened is that Professor Tosin talks about Franklin Covey. There is one thing about the foundational principle of Franklin Covey. You have the circle of influence and the circle of concern. Nigerian government falls into your circle of concern. There is nothing you can do about it. The government policy, you can only walk yourself around it. That what is it? For example, now, Nigerian government has rolled out objectives, which I don't know whether you as a Nigerian youth or people know about. Nigerian government for the past, I think, for the past 8-10 years now, they have been saying they want to diversify the entire Nigerian economy away from crude oil.
Yes.
And they have said that into mining and agriculture. Very few people see opportunities in those things. And if I may quote from the Bible, it is as far as your eyes can see. If you see little, little is available. If you see big, big is available. If you don't see anything, anything is not available. So you have to be able to sharpen your mind and go and read about Abraham. How was Abraham be able to capture that vision? You need to be able to understand Abraham. How he was able to capture the vision of us as your eyes can see. If your eyes can see only government in Nigeria, opportunities will continue to pass you by, and you continue to stay with government, and government will continue to frustrate you. But if you leave government alone and you said that, look, I don't want to, like I always tell people that, look, Nigerian government has disappointed a lot of people. So put them aside and pretend as if that government doesn't exist and begin to look at opportunities. God told Abraham, he said, look northward, eastward, westward, southward. A lot of Nigeria is only looking north. They have not even started looking at east or west. And opportunities in the east, opportunities in the west, opportunities in the north. Many people are only looking northward. Whereas what God told Abraham is north, east, west, south. As far as your eyes can see, is available for the taking. So you need to begin to change your vision and begin to be intentional about what you can do. As many people are complaining in this country, so many people are seeing the opportunities and they don't complain. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think we have to reorientate ourselves, change our paradigm, change our belief, change our understanding that, look, in this same country, the opportunities there. So don't be part of the people that will be complaining about. For example, for me, government is not part of my program anymore. I don't put them in my plan. The only thing is that when I discover that the things I'm doing, maybe in terms of the policy framework and some of the things, I will look at their side. But as far as every other, okay, for example, now, when President Buhari signed 16 bills, have you ever sit down and look at each of those bills? Check them on the internet. What opportunity is there for you? The minister, the Canadian embassy, when it came to Lagos business, one of the things I challenged him was that of all the MOUs that Nigeria and South and Canada signed, please, can you make those MOU available for us? We need to scrutinize them and see the opportunities that is there.
Yeah, that's right.
So I will stop from there for now.
Yeah, thanks so much for your response. Yeah, I really do agree with you. Yeah, thank you so much. Any other question, comments? Any other comment, any question? Okay. So if there's no anyone, Oscar, you want to add?
Please, Prof. Tosin.
Yes, sir.
I have this to say. I saw that Mr. Jude has asked a question about land banking. What I'm going to do is to leave my phone and WhatsApp number on the group.
Yes.
So that people can actually privately communicate with me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great. Yeah. Thanks so much, sir. Yeah. In the absence of no more comments and question. Also, okay, there's a question or there's a comment from Dr. Adeboye. Dr. Adeboye, do you have a question?
Prof, I wanted to ask one more question. Maybe let me just say comment.
Okay.
Sorry, colleagues.
Okay. Can you hold on, please? Okay, yeah, sir, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much. This has really been enriching, and it's taking me on a journey. So I don't have any question, but to appreciate all the people that are here and sharing their wealth of knowledge with us. Thank you so much. And Pastor Tayo, you didn't say bye-bye before you disappear.
I didn't disappear. I'm still, I still come to South Africa. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Over, Brother Tosin, thank you so much.
Thanks, sir. You're welcome, sir. Yeah. So Jude, can you go ahead? You want to say something or ask a question?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you, Prof. Actually, I wanted to know whether if I can connect with Pastor Tayo. Since we work with the Lagos Business School, I'm also based in Lagos. You know, there was a time we were discussing about bringing some blockchain education into the Nigerian system. Let me know whether it's something that Lagos Business School can appreciate. So I would like to connect with you maybe via WhatsApp so we can discuss more about it. If it's something they will appreciate. So we can talk more about it.
Okay, all right, no problem.
You can always talk to Bratayo. You can check his WhatsApp number on the group and just communicate with him. Yeah.
Dr. Abioye, please, can you please leave your number? So I don't have your number again. To connect with you.
Yes. You can also check his number. He's on the group. You can always check his number. He's on the group. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming, and see you next time. And I pray that God will continue to help us to succeed in everything that we do. May God make all our plans succeed. May God bless us abundantly. So enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
And happy Easter in advance.